So as you can see, I'm sitting here in my van to record this real quick. Because where else does a mama get a quiet minute? I just have the baby with me. She may get loud. This may get cut real short. But I just want to take a second to say what MOPS means to me. And it's truly, it's impossible to put into words what MOPS means to me. To me, MOPS is the community that you actively, consciously choose. It's the family that you get to choose. You know, you don't get to choose your parents and your brothers and sisters and your cousins, but your MOPS community are the people that you get to choose to love and to do life with. And that's really what MOPS is to me, the community and the village that you're consciously, actively choosing. I had my first kid in 2016, and I looked for a MOPS group in my area, and there wasn't one. Fast forward a few years later, in 2020, I had my third kid. So by then I had a almost 4-year-old, 1.5-year-old, and a newborn. And in January of 2020, and we all know in March of 2020, the world kind of shut down. And the only thing I've ever known I wanted in life was to be a mom. And especially in a time that we were in 2020, it was the most isolating feeling in the world, being essentially stuck at home with 3 small kids. And I knew this wasn't what it was supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to be all overwhelming and all isolating. And fortunately, our church opened back up before a lot of or we're early to open back up, sort of welcome people back in the doors of the church. And we started really plugging back in that summer of 2020, and noticed that a lot of families were coming to our church, and there was a big growth within our kids and young families in our church. And we came to our pastors. Oh, got sidetracked. We came to our pastors and said, I came and said, look, we got a lot of young families. Like, what can we do? I'm struggling. I am struggling at home with my small kids. This is the only thing I've ever wanted out of life, and this is really hard. I don't think this is what Jesus intended. What can we do to create a community for these young families within our church? And our pastor said to me, one of our associate pastors said, have you thought about MOPS? And I was like, actually, yes, there isn't one anywhere near us. She said, well, you ready to lead one here? I said, sure. Like, okay. And it's just created a passion for mamas, for me, to know that isolating feeling of being home with the babies and knowing it's all you've ever wanted out of life, but it was really, really hard. And that wasn't what Jesus intended. And so we're wrapping up our second season now. And in October of this past year of 22, I had my 4th baby, and her birth was a really traumatic, scary delivery. But I had my MOPS family surrounded me. We had our church family, and even my family are local, but there was nothing like those mamas that chose to step in and love us and fed us for 3 weeks. I had a baby in the NICU for 8-9 days, but she was in the NICU an hour away. So I never had to worry about my other 3 kids. My MOPS mamas were there. They had a schedule. They had my kids taken care of. They had our food taken care of. It's given me the best friends I could have ever hoped for. This isn't a seasonal friendship. Like, these are people that are going to be lifetime friendships. My very best friend has stepped up to lead an evening group because we knew there was a need in our area. And she couldn't come to our morning meetings anymore. This was after our first season of MOPS, and she couldn't come due to a work schedule, and she stepped up to lead it. And it's created a bond between the two of us that's unlike no other, leading women and mamas in this trying season together. Just today, I was stuck at the doctor for 2 hours with my 3-year-old, 4-year-old, and it was field day for my first grader, and I couldn't be there. But one of my MOPS mamas showed up so that my baby didn't have nobody there. So that's what MOPS is to me. It's family. It's indescribable. it's truly been life-changing for my family, for my kids, for me, for all of us.